with more on the latest recruiting haul and who might be next, guys.
Miles, you said huge, and yes, very big. Rusty.
With a big emphasis on huge.
Huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's called Big Jaw for a reason. Let's just go ahead and start with Jahzare Jackson. Rusty, I knew this guy as a social media influencer type basketball player, right? Everyone said he's the next Shaq, and now he's coming to UGA to play football.
He grew up playing with Bronny James in this league. Now, you see the first tweet came out with LeBron James, but let's talk a little bit about him. The first thing you're going to notice is he joins the class of 2024. He just enrolled at Georgia. He's been there. He started class this week. 6'10.5", 347 pounds was the official measurement this week at Georgia. And look at this big guy. I mean, feet, hands. He knows how to leverage. But look at his lower body. You look at the you look at the lower. You start talking about how we translate into football. He went to Florida State. He went to Georgia. They offered. Florida State offered. Mississippi State offered. Everybody he worked out for, they offered. You see what he's doing right here. Here's what I love the most about him. He had a chance to go play overseas in basketball. He said, you know what? I'm going to give football a shot. I'm all in. And when Georgia found him and they worked him out, the rest is history. But you see the raw athleticism, but it starts with those feet, man. You have to be excited. 6'10.5". I think the biggest offensive lineman I could compare him to would be Jonathan Ogden, who was one of the greatest all time. Now, I'm not saying that, but you're talking about a big guy that can bend, and he now is in the 2024 class, so he will go through fall camp, which is different than these guys that are verbal commits. He is at Georgia. He started class this week.
So I saw a graphic actually from On3, who you obviously work for. Georgia's average size now is 6'6.5" for this class. Is that right? For offensive linemen?
6'6.5", like 370 pounds. But I'll give you an example. Daniel Calhoun got to Georgia last January at 380. He's 330 now.
Goodness.
This guy can carry 345, which is even more scary. He's at his playing weight. Now he has to build football mass and strength. But you want to talk about a long-term, high-risk player, high-reward player? Jahzare Jackson.
So, and football was his first love, right? Like, it was really middle school as well.
Yes. American Heritage, one of the best high schools in South, where Sony Michel, Tyson Campbell, those guys, they were trying to talk him into playing football, but he was so big, he went into basketball.
That's amazing. Okay, now let's talk about the class of 2025. You get a 4-star cornerback from Virginia in Shamari Earls.
Man, the Georgia fans are going to love this. A big flip this week from South Carolina. A huge riser on three. He's now a top 20 player in the country. 6'2", 205 pounds. And I want you to watch this guy right here, how explosive he is. He's a 10-foot, 700-meter. I love our comparison from Charles Power, our director of scouting on three. He says this might be Patrick Surtain. Another American Heritage guy you want to talk about. But watch him just blanket cover these guys. Watch these ball skills right here. Watch the next level speed on him here in just a minute when he catches this ball. But you want to watch the coverage, how flexible, how comfortable he is seeing the ball, just blankets that receiver. But watch this right here when you're going to see the very next play. I want to show one more play. You're going to see the burst on him. And this is what makes these guys rare. He plays both sides of the ball too. You like the ball skills, tackle, physical. Look at him break tackles.
Breaking tackles,
Big get this week for Georgia.
That's massive. Let's talk about another defensive back in the class of 2025. 4-star safety, Jalen Morgan from Tennessee.
Yeah, Georgia's doing work in Middle Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You're going to see the comment. Watch this. This reminds me of Javon Bullard. Watch the physicality right here. Bam! I mean, you got to have a guy that wants to play in the box. 5'11", 190-pound safety. You see him. Watch him get in phase. He's comfortable, covers the wide receiver, gets his head around ball skills. Great in coverage. You like what you see there.
That's awesome. And then now let's talk about a guy in the class of 2025 who is set to commit today. Travis Smith. We were at Westlake Spring Game. We saw him play.
And Georgia fans and Georgia coaches were there. But you look at the different huddle film. Good job, Fox 5 right here. Playmaker, 6'4", 200 pounds. It's down to Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. A lot of smoke maybe on Tennessee here late in the end. But we were there. We saw that play. Georgia offensive coaches were there deep. James Coley, Mike Bobo, all those guys. But you look at the big body on him. 6'4", 200 pounds, playing at a powerhouse like Westlake. Somebody today is going to get a big-time player.
Yeah, he was wearing Georgia gloves. If that means anything, in a spring game, he's wearing Georgia gloves. And then let's talk about another guy committing next week. This is Cortez Smith. We've talked about him here. You love him. You've known him since he was, what, 13?
My great story on him. I went to see him start against Marietta. He was 13 years old as a freshman. Look at this big man right here. He's going to decide on July 20th. I think Georgia's in a good place going to it now. He's 17 years old, 4-year starter at 7A Parkview. I love Cortez Smith, one of the top centers in America. And Georgia fans are going to find out on July 20th where his college decision is.
I absolutely love it. Hey, make sure you follow Rusty Mansell on Twitter. Can you shout out the Twitter one time for us?
It's Rusty Mansell _.
At Rusty Mansell _. You'll get all the latest updates, and of course, check out his great stuff with On3 as well. We got more Bulldogs now on the way.
You're watching Bulldogs Now, your front row seat for UGA sports action.